Alright, rolling right along. I have one out of my garden now. I watched this over many weeks, and we had some cold weather, and I was bringing my peppers into my porch so they didn't get frost damage, and then it started warming up again, and now it's cooling off again, so I'm going to have to start bringing them in. I might even start the overwintering process, because, well, it's mid-October. I'm surprised that it held on as long as it did. But this is a red hot Portugal. I think this is the first one I've done out of my own garden of the Portugals that's ripe. I had one from my mom's garden that I tested, and I also had a green Portugal out of my garden, which I had a couple that were hot, but I don't think that the one that I tried out of my garden green that was hot. This one actually was starting to over-ripen. If you'll see, it's kind of crinkled on the very end here. This was like this on the plant even. I think because of the cold weather, the seeds are probably viable, so I'm going to cut this open and see what we got with that. Just pop the crown off here. Smells like a chili, like an annuum. Okay, here we go. As you see, the bowl is prepared with the red Portugal, and I put mine because I have seeds that I saved from the plants that my mom had of the Hot Portugal. They're from the same garden nursery, but I wanted to differentiate because she had different kinds of peppers and it was all open pollinated, so I didn't want to mix those up just in case they turn out different, because hers look more like cayennes than these ones, more like a traditional cayenne. That's a big seed in there. Here's another one. Okay, so I'm gonna slit this down the side here. See. How we're doing in here. Oh, wow. Oh, quite a few in there. Good. So definitely going to take these out as quickly as I can. I'm sorry, this is going to take a lot. Good viable seeds too. Well, again, that's a cursory analysis of the viability. They're very hard, sound very woody, so that's usually my gauge, is that if they seem like they're gonna be harder, usually that's a good sign, because that means they've developed the seed coat fully, and that's usually the last part of the seed maturation process, is when the husk is harder. I got a lot of seeds out of this. I have to wash my hands after this one. These aren't that hot, but they're hot enough to where if I itch myself or touch my eye, I'm going to be in a little bit of pain. But as you can see on the placental tissue, it's not really all that dark. Kind of an apple-ish smell. Okay. Delay. Okay, now we got the red. Both parts of it. The red hot Portugal, and I'll show you again. I didn't cut the placenta out, but I took the seeds. Okay, now. Sweet. A little tart. I don't really detect any bitterness. Oh, just spit out a seed. Cool. One I overlooked. Maybe strawberry-ish undertones. Apple-ish. Similar to a ripe poblano or serrano. A very nice flavor. Sweet and tart. No bitterness. Nice crisp. Oh, there's a little heat kicking in when I swallowed. Definitely looking forward to overwintering these because these were good. I wish they would have produced better. These, my Ristras and my Padrones, the plants got the biggest. They were about foot and a half tall. They didn't produce all that many pods. But I'm going to try some different growing techniques for next year and get some better ones. Taking my time with this one because it's really good, delicious. Not really all that much heat, but the flavor is just phenomenal. Similar to a Red Bell. Not exactly the same. A little bit more other fruit type flavors coming through. Apple and strawberry-ish undertones to it. I'm going to get up towards the top. Might get a little bit hotter, but I'm not expecting this to be all that hot. As I moved up, didn't really pick up all that much in the heat. That was a really nice one. Highly recommend these. Really good flavor. For that one, if it was straightened out, it probably would have been like 4 or 5 inches long. But they got that spiral shape to them. It's really nice. It's cool to watch as they get bigger. I got a couple others that haven't started doing that yet. They're straight. They look like a bird pepper or a something along that line. Just long, straight, thin. Got a few more on the plant that are about 2 inches long, maybe. We'll see how big they get. I might end up just pruning them off and eating them as is without any heat. But pretty good seed count for the size pepper. And they were nice, healthy looking seeds. Excuse me. Definitely, I would recommend these ones because that's a really nice flavor. Really good, fresh, no bitter. It was easy to eat. Pretty low level heat. I had one that was kind of hot, but it wasn't. These are not a very hot variety from what I've researched. They usually just a couple thousand Scovilles, give or take. Lower end Poblano, Anaheim territory. This one was a little milder than some of the other ripe ones that I've had. I had one out of my mom's that was a little bit hotter, but lingering peppery flavor. Sweet. Those are very sweet and very fresh and crisp, and I didn't really detect bitterness in them at all. Very nice flavor. I would highly recommend if you can get seeds for the Hot Portugal peppers and grow them. It's a really nice flavor, and the heat is pretty low end, and texture. The skin is thin and easy to chew. It's not papery or plasticky or anything like that, or tough. Just a really nice pepper overall. That was probably the best one out of the Portugals that I've had. Definitely good. Heat is pretty much gone. A little bit of embers here and there, a little bit on my lips, but it's pretty minimal. Not stingy or anything like that. Just faint warmth kicking around in there. And yeah, Hot Portugal out of my garden. Very nice. If I overwinter these successfully, I should be getting a good amount of pods off them next year with the new feeding schedule and other things that I am going to implement. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and if you ever get a chance to try Portugal peppers, I would highly recommend them. They're very tasty.